First Coast News begins with breaking news.
And that breaking news tonight at 11, a 5-month-old baby is in critical condition after police say a babysitter got frustrated and threw the child. You're looking at video from the scene. This all happened at a home on Davis Street. That's in the Ocean Way neighborhood. Good evening. I'm Anthony Austin.
And I'm Heather Crawford. Tonight, that babysitter is behind bars. First Coast News' Hani Rodriguez joins us live outside the hospital with more on what happened. Hani, a horrible, horrible story.
Hey Heather, Anthony, this is a parent's worst nightmare. This 5-month-old baby is fighting for his life tonight after, you mentioned, his babysitter threw him into his playpen out of frustration. I want to show you video from the scene earlier today. The babysitter's home where she was caring for that baby. JSO says police was actually called out around 2 p.m. after that babysitter, 65-year-old Barbara Kendrick, went to a neighbor for help after hurting the infant. That's when she called 911. The boy's parents were at work and the child was under the babysitter's care. Of course, according to JSO, she had been caring for the baby just over a month. Right now, we know very limited details into this case. Investigators also saying that Kendrick confessed. Again, she threw that baby out of frustration. She is now in jail and she has been charged with aggravated child abuse. For now, reporting live downtown, I'm Hani Rodriguez with First Coast News.
Hani, thank you. And now to our other top story tonight. A mental health counselor from Jacksonville Beach has been arrested 23 years after a teenage boy from Nassau County was found dismembered behind a Lake City dumpster.
Ronnie Hyde is charged with murder tonight, and police say there could be more victims out there. So let's take a look back at how we got here. A torso was found in Columbia County in June of 1994. That torso was that of 16-year-old Fred Laster. He wasn't reported missing officially until February of 1995.
In 2012, a new detective was assigned to the cold case. Then in 2015, the victim's family member gave DNA to police. In February of last year, investigators linked that DNA with the torso that was found in 1994.
So today, the FBI raided Hyde's properties and Hyde was arrested. And tonight, the FBI has suspended its search efforts at his home on Jacks Beach, but they will start again in the morning looking for any evidence. You're looking at some aerial footage from that FBI raid, and we do have team coverage for you tonight. We start with Shelby Danielson, who has followed the FBI raid from the beginning.
Practically as soon as the sun was up this morning, Ron Hyde was taken into custody and the FBI took over his properties, including the one behind me here at Jacks Beach. Now, neighbors who watched this FBI raid unfold saw FBI digging through CDs, DVDs, books, anything they could get their hands on, filling bags with items inside and even digging in the backyard. Many of these FBI crime technicians are dressed in white hazmat suits as they go through evidence. Of course, this is to protect that evidence. You're looking at evidence that spans over 23 years. And while most of his neighbors have lived here their whole life, they really had no idea who lived in Hyde's home. They say they rarely saw him outside, and they haven't seen him in 2 years.
Yeah, they were opening DVD cases or CD cases. I couldn't tell which. One of the garage door windows was open, and you could see boxes just piled up inside the garage. Now that I know, it's pretty shocking.
Now, Hyde is registered with the state as a mental health counselor. We're told he worked as a counselor for the state prison in Stark, Florida, in addition to owning a counseling office in 5 Points near Riverside. He's also associated with the Crosswater Community Church in Ponte Vedra as a mental health counselor there, but the lead pastor tells us he was not on staff. Now, he would not clarify what Hyde did for the church, but Pastor Jack Millwood says the church is in full cooperation with the FBI and wants to help in any way they can. Hyde will make his first court appearance at the Duval County Jail Wednesday afternoon. Again, he is charged with the 1994 murder of 16-year-old Fred Laster. In Jacks Beach, Shelby Danielson, First Coast News.
Our team coverage continues now. New documents in this case reveal that the teenage victim's family suspected Ron Hyde in his disappearance from the beginning. First Coast News' Julia Janae has been going through court documents. And Julia, you spoke tonight with friends of both the victim and the suspect.
That's right, Heather. Still a lot of questions on both sides of this case. I talked to a family friend who said that he grew up with Fred Lassiter, who was 16 years old when he disappeared, and he says he always wondered when his friend would reappear, when he'd have details. And this arrest warrant that was released today does give us a little bit more of an insight into what that process has been over the last 23 years. And that friend told me over the phone that tonight he does have some closure.
Decades of details come out in an arrest warrant released Tuesday. Fred Lassiter's family told police as early as 1995 that Hyde was the last person seen with the 16-year-old. They said Hyde gave them different stories about Fred's whereabouts, but the arrest warrant says there is no record indicating any law enforcement contacted Hyde regarding the disappearance. Hyde became a friend of the family when he was a youth pastor at their church, Strength for Living in Jacksonville. Back then, it was believed that Hyde resided here on Thelma Street on Jacksonville's east side, currently being guarded by police and the FBI.
Sounds a little bizarre, you know what I mean? I wouldn't never expect that, nothing around here, you know.
Neighbors shocked to hear about a local homeowner they rarely ever saw.
He wasn't very friendly. I said hi to him because I never seen him over there, and he was in there doing something, I don't know.
A friend of Hyde's who asked us not to use his name says there were no signs.
Absolute shock. You know, I've known him for a while, for close to 20 years. We've done music together. We've played golf together. The odd thing is, he's always come over to either our house or to the venue that we're doing the music. I don't know of anyone that's actually been over to his house. Really clever, creative, compassionate. I'm having a hard time processing this whole thing.
Now, the way authorities were able to link Hyde to this crime is they were able to match DNA found in the trash that they recovered back in April of 2016, and it was found on medicated nasal swabs that people use to fight colds. They matched that DNA to DNA that they found at the scene where Fred Lassiter's body was found. And Heather, still a lot of information still in this arrest warrant that we are working through. We'll have more information on our website at firstcoastnews.com.
Julia, thank you. And digging deeper tonight, back in 2014, a Columbia County detective contacted the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about this case. Now, the founder of that center, Jay Howell, told me tonight that once the case was highlighted online, it caught the attention of Fred Lassiter's family. And in 2015, a relative reached out to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
His family members, God bless them, went on that site, as many families do, looking for information about their lost loved one. They recognized some of the clothing that had been provided to the National Center that we photographed and posted. And that was the link that brought this back together.
Now, you may remember it was a tip to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that also helped solve the Kamaya Mobley case earlier this year. She was found alive 18 years after being kidnapped from a Jacksonville hospital. Howell says both of these cases should give hope to other families that even years later, cold cases can be solved. And he encourages families who have missing loved ones to search the Help ID Me Facebook page. Now, the FBI said today that Ron Hyde was also named a suspect in a previous international child exploitation investigation. Authorities believe that there could be more victims, and the FBI is asking anyone who may have been victimized by Ron Hyde to contact them.
Developing news tonight in St. Johns County. Deputies there trying to figure out if there is a connection between the death of two roommates. Early this morning, a man was found shot to death inside a home on Los Robles Avenue in St. Augustine. He was discovered after a wellness check. Investigators suspect foul play. And then last night, that man's roommate, Michael Kennard, was killed in a crash on State Road 207. So right now, authorities are trying to see if those incidents are related.
New tonight, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is now one step closer to getting body cameras. This evening, the agency held its first town hall meeting to discuss the $3.5 million project with the community. JSO says it will be launching a pilot program this summer to test several cameras before any decisions are made. Some who attended the meeting tonight questioned the effectiveness of those cameras. Others, though, voiced their support for what they say is a much-needed tool here.
I think it would alleviate a lot of tension as far as who was right, who was wrong. Because a lot of times the officers, just because they fired their weapon and just because they shot somebody and they died, doesn't necessarily mean that the cops were wrong. And in this case, the cameras, I believe, would be an excellent idea. At least it's a start.
Now, if you missed tonight's meeting, there will be more town halls. The next one scheduled for Tuesday, March 14th. That will take place at FSCJ's North Campus Auditorium starting at 6:30 in the evening.
A substitute teacher in Clay County is out on bond after being accused of hitting a student at Oakleaf Junior High. 75-year-old James Smith was arrested on battery charges. Reports show that Smith became frustrated with a class when they wouldn't be quiet. A female student says that he hit her 3 times in her arm.
Running through the finish line with a stroller in tow. It's an amazing story, and tonight a local mom is hoping to make that legal during the Boston Marathon. The reason she says it would be positive for all families involved.
All right, I'll be watching that one, and we're watching this one. That is the front, and on cue, the storms are weakening. We'll take a look at our chances of even receiving a shower in just a few moments.
All new tonight, some very exciting news for the future of space exploration. The U.S. House unanimously approved a 1-year spending bill for NASA that for the first time explicitly requires the agency to send humans to Mars in the next quarter century. Yes, to Mars. That bill is sponsored by Florida Senator Bill Nelson. It was approved by the Senate last month, and it now heads to the president for his signature. Well, today, Governor Rick Scott requested the largest budget in Florida state history, $85 billion.
And 5 newly elected lawmakers from Jacksonville are already hitting the ground running on day 1 of the 2017 legislature. So we sent First Coast News reporter Stephen Dial to the state capitol in Tallahassee. He has a look for us tonight.
Day 1 is in the books for the 5 newly elected representatives from Jacksonville, and they are able to end that first day with a big win. The House of Representatives and the Speaker of the House successfully winning a lawsuit against the Florida State Lottery Secretary, which is a Governor Rick Scott appointee. This just shows that the House and Senate are wasting no time in getting back to work.
First real day. Oh boy, we're excited.
Speaking before a joint session on Tuesday, Governor Rick Scott proposing a lot of tax cuts and increased spending.
Do you think the governor's budget is unrealistic?
I think the governor's budget has some holes in it.
Together, we have cut taxes 55 times, saving families $6.5 billion. But we must do more.
The 2017 legislative session also brings new faces to the Northeast Florida delegation.
We have a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm glad to be here, glad to represent Jacksonville and represent our state.
When it comes to the issues, it depends on who you ask, which should be priority.
Education and making sure that all kids get a chance to have a better life. And in the House, we're going to be voting on some bills in committee right after this to expand vouchers, to expand the Gardner scholarships. It's an education scholarship account.
Our education charter versus public school is always going to be a huge issue and topic to discuss. So those are pretty big. You have the Enterprise Florida versus Visit Florida. So those are big, and we're going to tackle those one day at a time.
The state budget in general, healthcare, education, transportation, important to Jacksonville's port development, and things like that. These are all issues I'm focused on, but I'm in learning mode right now, so still just listening more than I'm doing any talking, and want to make good decisions at the end of the day.
1 day down, 59 more to go. We will continue to track our freshman representatives as they work for the next 59 days to try to make Jacksonville and the First Coast a better place to live and work. In Tallahassee, Stephen Dial, First Coast News.
An update tonight surrounding that tree that you saw there that fell on a Jacksonville home. The homeowner says their insurance company came by today and removed it, but they say the business at fault has still done nothing. So we told you about this yesterday. The workers from Jam Up Tree Service never apologized after the tree fell and just left it there. Well, our Ken Amaro later called that business, and they did accept full responsibility and promised to make things right. But once again, the homeowners say they haven't heard from the business since.
Tonight, a push for change. Hundreds have signed a petition to allow a Jacksonville mother to run the Boston Marathon while pushing a stroller. She did it during the Donna. She qualified for the Boston Marathon, an impressive time. First Coast News' Sarah Kimbrough has more on why this is so important for her.
We've trained. My husband was on a 7-month deployment, and during that time, it was just part of our routine to train and run. And
The Donna Marathon was Crystal Davis's very first marathon. The race made an exception and allowed this mother of two to push 80 pounds. Yes, 80 pounds between her stroller, her 2-year-old daughter Julie, and her 4-year-old son Jade. She's run in more than 20 races while pushing her children.
In the stroller, they argue. They will ask me to open up containers of food. I've had to break up fights, stick my hand in there and break them up. They sleep. But throughout the Donna, the great thing about the Donna was there was so much crowd support and so much going on that they almost stayed awake throughout the whole time, just taking it all in. And
Crystal completed the race in 3 hours and 16 minutes, the 5th fastest female to run the Donna this year.
when you're in that mode of desperation, you just find what pushes you, and the kids pushed me more so. I mean, you look down at the stroller and you see 2 little ones that are relying you to finish a race.
Her time qualified her for the Boston Marathon, which she plans to run next year, but that marathon doesn't allow strollers.
I don't see the problem of letting mothers run with their children, letting fathers run with their children, making it more of a family event.
A representative from the Boston Athletic Association says strollers mainly are not allowed because of the tight quarters in most of the course. It's a rule that has Jacksonville residents divided.
A, because it's dangerous to the other runners, and B, because it's sort of dangerous to the children in the strollers as well, I think.
For it if they want to. What do you think?
Same as me. I think if you're going to go into a marathon, you could run it however you want.
As for Crystal, she's hoping this petition her friend started will encourage race officials to change the rules and allow strollers at the Boston Marathon next year.
If I would do it again, I would any day, but they could be a pain, but it's a memory that will last forever and that we'll treasure forever, and I'm blessed to be able to share this with them.
And Crystal ran the Donna Marathon at an amazing pace of 7:30. She also heads up a stroller mom squad to help other moms reach their running goals. So if you'd like to sign that petition, there's a link on our website at firstcoastnews.com. Back to you guys.
Sarah, what an amazing story.
Wow.
I remember being out there running the relay part of the Donna and seeing Crystal. I mean, she was at the front of the pack. Amazing. Crystal,
There's always somebody out there, guaranteed, to where just about when I'm ready to start whining inside my own head, I said, no.
You take a look at that.
I mean, I've been running just around the block with pushing a stroller, and it is a good workout. But to do a whole marathon, wow.
I mean, so she qualified not for a mother pushing a stroller because, as mentioned, there's no division. I mean, that was for a woman of her age.
Right.
Just phenomenal. Wow.
Let's talk about this weather now, this wild weather.
That's inspiring. And I do need to say, and I know Donna thanked her many times, but gosh, thank you so much for doing that during the Donna. See, just another example of everybody's out there to finish it in their own way. Okay, so what about these showers and thunderstorms? Well, they're not completely finished, but the storms are just about completely finished. Notice the intense color here. Those are the storms that continue to weaken as they drop in. I'm showing you where the watches and warnings are now, and this is actually a good sign. The only watches and warnings are marine interest well out there toward the Florida Panhandle. So for you folks out around the Swanee, west of the Osceola, northwest of the Okefenokee, sleep easy tonight. No concern about any damaging storms. We thought they would weaken. Nice to see. In fact, they did. You might hear a rumble overnight around Valdosta. Otherwise, that is it. In fact, it's becoming increasingly clear that although we will not be clear tomorrow, that not all of us will even have a shower. So any downpours left will pretty much go out toward Panama City, Tallahassee, Apalachicola. We're just going to have light showers work from west to east over South Georgia. This computer model, I think, does a pretty good job. Watch out the shower activity. Even the clouds really break up. So the front's on the way. There will be some scattered showers tomorrow. Not going to be a washout. The front comes through. We'll cool down a little bit on Thursday. And then, well, the pattern continues to be progressive, and that just means there's a lot of energy from the Pacific all the way to the East Coast continuing to come our way. So high tomorrow of 80 around the metro area, including out around the beaches, because we will have a west wind, despite the fact there'll be a lot of clouds out there. For those of you wind sensitive, especially maybe on a small boat, be aware of that wind shift we're going to have by Friday and even into the weekend. For now, I'm just going to call it unsettled, and what I mean by that is we're going to warm back up. Winds will become gusty. There will be a few isolated showers and thunderstorms here. It's going to be much stormier just to our north. It's going to be a forecast to watch. We'll keep you updated. For now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. Now that it's okay for NFL teams to start talking to free agents, there are reports the Jaguars are one of 6 teams interested in Texas cornerback A.J. Boye. He's considered one of the most desirable defensive backs on the market. Also, the Jags have kept one of their offensive linemen from hitting the open market, Patrick Omameh. That's according to his agent. After coaching for more than 4 decades, Corky Rogers called it quits. He made that announcement yesterday, saying he's stepping down because of lingering health issues. Today, he met with reporters, and Alyssa Lane was there.
It was a day of reminiscing for now former head Bulls football coach Corky Rogers. The numbers, they speak for themselves. 45 years, 466 wins, and 17 total state championship appearances. But for Corky, the numbers, they don't matter. He says what he'll miss is being able to come to work and impact young lives every single day.
It's fun when the young guys feel like that you've treated them fair. I think that's what I always wanted, was to treat people fair. I'm hard on all of them. I mean, I'm hard. I don't give in, and I'm relentless on some things. But down deep, I always felt like I was trying to do something for them. And I don't know if they ever saw it that way, but...
Now, Corky said he's willing to help this program succeed in any way he possibly can. He just won't be on the sidelines as head coach. So he said even if they'd like him to come back as a ball boy, he might just consider it. At Bulls, Alyssa Lang, First Coast Sports.
First from you, this week's Athlete of the Week comes to us from over on the west side of Jacksonville over at Trinity Christian. Madison Williams is a senior at TC and plans to take her softball talents to FSCJ, where she earned a full ride. But thanks to her skills on the diamond and her amazing 3.8 grade point average in the classroom, she's doing it real big. When Madison isn't hitting home runs, you can find her volunteering for her church. Madison says being named Athlete of the Week is not just for her, but for her entire team.
We hold each other accountable for sure with school, and because you can't play softball if your grades aren't there, so school's definitely first. It's just nice to kind of see that me and my team's hard work that we put in, it's just kind of, I feel like this is a way of us getting recognized for our hard work.
She's a go-getter. She's one of those kids